G'day and welcome back to the Ranless Sea. Last time round, we actually had a fairly quick time. We went up to Wither and we bought the Mutasalt we needed to save the campaigner's life. So now we've got an indomitable campaigner. And she's here sitting in our surgeon slot because she's now our best surgeon. And we also got ourselves a live specimen, a few other bits and pieces. So where we can come back here and realize that we've got too few secrets to actually make anything. So that's less than ideal. I don't know that there's anything I really want to do with this stuff. What I will do is I will go to the Alarming Scholar and I will sell off not the Eelith, not the Unread Log. We need those for things. I'm going to sell off one of these captivating treasures. Oh my, teeth bared and hungry grin. There's something odd about those teeth, as if there were too many of them. This will make quite a dent in my acquisitions budget, but worth it, I think. Yes, worth it. And we've made the antiquarian very pleased with us, which is nice. I literally got an achievement for that, so I've never done that before. And I think that's about it. I might sell... I think I'll sell a live specimen, actually. I can get another one. This is taking us remarkably close to that 24,000 mark, which allows us to get the Eschatalog. So what else can we sell? But I want this for things. I want those for things. I want that for things. I want to keep too many things, so you are worth 50. You know what we're going to do? Today we're going to resolve a lot of our money problems by making one last trip. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to shops, we're going to sell off a bunch of the stuff that we've been carrying around that is useful, but not useful enough, and is taking up hull space. We aren't going to sell that, we need that. There's nothing here, so I just will check down here. We'll sell off this. I know I bought it last time, but you know, I make mistakes sometimes. I do need the romantic literature for something. So what do we have in terms of hold space right now? We've got some supplies. We've got empty mirror catch boxes. We have claymen, and we've got harlot fry. So I've got 2 approved romantic literature and 3 romantic literature. Huh. Interesting. We've got 43 hold capacity. I need about 30 fuel and about 10 supplies. So that's what we're going to get. And we are also going to get coffee. So much coffee. I could go... You know what? Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave because I needed things for Rosegate. So I'm actually going to go down to Rosegate. I'm going to go down to Port Carnelian. I'm going to buy coffee in Port Carnelian. Quick stop at the Salt Lions. Get the port report and pick over the encampment. Then what we'll do is we're going to drop down into Rack. Because we can. Nothing will have really improved there, to be honest. But it gives a support report and it's a place to look for someone. The thing about Blue Prophets is they attack really quickly, and I'm under half hull, so they'd also kill off my crew. So I would be able to dive, but I'd be critically wounded, and it would be a real pain to get away. So I would not be pleased. Rack. Let us search for the fierce philanthropist's husband. We succeeded. A wistful wrecker confirms your suspicions. Lytton was here, but only briefly. He lost himself in rackweed for a time before finding passage to Low Barnet, nestled at the feet of London. So, okay. That was fairly easy. Let us also compile a port report. Is there anything we can do with this guy? Nope. Is there anything we can do? If we go to the shops here, we can buy coffee really expensively. No point. We could also buy parabola linen, not too expensively, but also no point. And that's all fine. We might as well taste the tether. And we can't, because we've got no rack scrap. We can visit the Royal Hull, and we've got nothing. So we will part from the Fair King as well. We will just leave. I can try and keep eavesdrop on the wreckers. Oh, why not? Port Carnelian. Really? Well, we're going to Port Carnelian anyway, so we might as well basically convince people not to go get themselves killed for no reason. Okay, go, perhaps not, leave. And we'll go to Visage, and then Rosegate, and then Isle of Cats, and then south. Because I can't go on a straight line in this game. It is just not a thing I do. And Visage. Okay. Faces may not be naked. We'll get the port report, and there's no point. We can't actually go on the island because I haven't actually had something await you arrive just yet. So then down we go. Straight over to the Rose Gate. Come on, I hope I don't need something await you to progress the quest here. Because that's really why I'm going to Rose Gate. I've been carrying things around. Okay, there's something down there. It's not moving, which means it could be a wreck ship, but hopefully not. Okay. We don't have something awaits us, but the creation of the cigar we can definitely work on. So we'll take a pamphlet, and creation of a cigar, bitter, luscious, robust, 3 flavors and we'll have the cigar. So, yes, I've got the things I need, all of them. Extracting the robust flavor. Delicate workshop tools won't do for a flavor like this, the crotchety tobacconist says. I'll need to make some new ones. Can you bring me some particularly sturdy materials? And this is why... Oh right, I don't actually need Clayman for this. I just remembered the Clayman icon. He weighs an eolith in his hand before tossing it into the air. Dense, sturdy. He catches it and licks a stone. And well flavored. Perfect. These will make fine tools. I'll get to work immediately. He turns and strides up the stairs to his workshop. Hammer strikes ring through the floorboards above. Excellent. Now, helping prepare the robust flavor. Thumping resounds above. We need to open that crate. The Clayman's already in chains, but we'll need to get him on the workbench. I hope you're ready. The crotchety tobacconist and his apprentice stands by with chains as you pry open the crate. An unfinished Clayman glares from within and growls as you begin removing planks. Once you've opened it halfway, he roars and hurls his weight forward. The wood splinters, the box breaks, and you sidestep his charge, letting him run directly into the workbench. From there, it's easy to bind him to the table with heavy chains. Well dodged, Captain. Reminds me of when I was young and spry. His apprentice stifles a giggle. Cultivating a robust flavor, the taste of well-aged wine. Harvesting the robust flavor. A chisel rests on the glass counter. The crotchety tobacconist smiles. We have the tools and the Clayman readied. Captain, shall we? Okay. Shatter him. Take the hammer and chisel, crack the Clayman where the tobacconist has marked. Clayman struggles futilely against his bond. He shouts threats he cannot fulfill. We will require both powder and shavings, the crotchety tobacconist says. He should provide everything we need for a truly robust flavor. And because I'm a terrible person, and because this seems like it is more interesting than not doing it, we will take up the hammer and chisel and crack the clay man where the tobacconist has marked. You crack on. You work in the miasma of bitter dust and floral cigar smoke. At the first, the clay man's shouts drown out the tap of the hammer. Soon only the hammer rings out. The crotchety tobacconist grabs a fistful of clay shavings from the shattered left arm. He rubs the clay into a fine powder, and sniffs it and beams. Oh, this is exactly it. Robust, but with a fierce bite to it. This'll get into your blood. Thank you, Captain. This is magnificent. Cultivating a robust flavor, the taste of fecund earth. Okay. So, that's it. I didn't need to do the other things? Really? Okay. So, let's go with challenge the tobacconist to a game of cards. Why not? There. A cruel queen and a besieged king. You bind his shark. Your will in 2 turns unless he concedes defeat now. The crotchety tobacconist snorts, snatches the cards off the table and flings them into the air. He storms up the stairs to his workshop. The dogged apprentice waits till the door has slammed before scurrying over, muttering apologies. Oh, okay. So that's how that works. Okay, here's a dream. To create a cigar. Yep. Ah, okay, cool. So now, we've got some solemn weight for the bitter flavor. The dogged apprentice sits by the hearth, perusing his journal. Master wants the cigar to have a certain weightiness. Wants to make something that'll stick with you. Do you have anything that might work? And those unread logs, yes. The dogged apprentice flicks through the book that you hand him. It isn't long before he closes the book with a grin. This is exactly what we're hoping for, Captain. Tragic and hopeless. You should prove potent indeed. Thank you. Okay. Something disquieting for the bitter flavor. The dogged apprentice licks his pencil and makes a note in his journal. We're making good progress, Captain. Next we'll need something stunningly hopeless. Can I trouble you to put something together? 3 lamentable relics? Easy. You set 3 jaws on the counter. One is missing its jaw and a few overlong teeth. One is missing a patch of bone in the back. Brains either blown out or bashed in. One still has an eye, not yet taken by rot. The dogged apprentice grips your arm and for support, transfixed. This is, yes, Captain. I think this is what we need. Bitter flavor, taste of burnt rope. And then helping prepare it. The dogged apprentice has set up paper and pen. I had an idea, Captain. Could I trouble you to write something cruel? Something to leave the reader speechless? And we've got plenty of ale, so no worries. I suppose it's an art in its own right, he says. Crafting an unkindness is still... Dear God, what did you just write? He snatches the page away and reads. He covers his mouth and whispers through his fingers. Everything I tried writing was just blunt cruelty, but that's a razor to the soul. His eyebrows raised, delighted. This will finish it off well, thank you. Taste of winter wind. Okay, now stoking harvesting the bitter flavor. The dogged apprentice preens against the hearth, blazing at the back of the shop. We've only one last thing to do, Captain, before our flavor's complete. Let's go and have a laugh. In the back of the workshop is a small cave. Inside, a once talkative Ratter's favor sits in a bedding of cruel phases. We needed to overwhelm it with bitterness. Then, the apprentice says, then we harvest. This is so cruel and unkind. But yes. Sneer called at it. It's not so talkative now, is it? Its old friends would thank you for making it less annoying, even if it's still ugly. The once talkative writer's favourite doesn't even shudder at your words. It only lies down in its bedding and closes its eyes. The dogged apprentice nods solemnly and lays his hand on your shoulder. Got it now. That's as much bitterness and contempt as it can hold. I'll remove the gallbladder in a moment. The master will be so pleased to have his ingredient. Yeah, we are a terrible, terrible person in this game. Okay, now one last thing. So we can deliver supplies, really. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm going to do creation of a cigar, and let's do the last part. Stoking inspiration for the luscious flavor. The crotchety tobacconist is polishing an already gleaming case. The flavor must be something that'll make knees weak and hearts flutter. Perfect. The crotchety tobacconist scrutinizes the literature through his pince-nez. He carves into the pages with the razor and carefully extracts passages of worth. I tell you, he says, between puffs of his cigar, reading this makes me feel old. Before London fell, I never dreamed of such carnality. Not because I wouldn't desire it, but because I never imagined the possibilities they explore here. Finally chosen, Captain. And it actually cost me all my romantic literature. I'm glad I had 3 and I didn't sell any. The crotchety tobacconist studies the excerpts. Their breathless exclamations, such as one might utter after a vigorous regime of calisthenics. Captain, I need you to make a poem with these phrases, and I need it to be badly written. You write with the crotchety tobacconist puffing away behind your shoulder, blowing curling clouds of daffodil-scented smoke. And he smirks over your page. He smirks as he reads and claps you on the back. Fine, nearly too fine, enough to quicken and curdle the blood. Excellent work. Taste of a freshly baked pie. The crotchety tobacconist grins at his reflection in the display cases. Got one of them mushrooms. What do you call it? A blendig brunig. I'll set it. I've got one in a jar. But first you'll need it to care about poetry. Can you bring it round? You spend hours reciting the popular Z ballads of love in Wolfstack taverns, love beneath the decks, love in the far-flung ports. Eventually, the crotchety tobacconist stops by to see your progress. He takes up your poem from his pocket and presses it against the jar. The Blumigan bangs pitifully against the glass. Listen, the tobacconist cries, clapping on the back. Hear that tapping? It's correcting your meter. He cackles, smoke curling upwards from his lips. Well done, Captain. And now harvesting it. That mushroom is at work upstairs, editing your poetry. The crotchety tobacconist looks meaningfully at the razor left open on the counter. Shall we? It's amazing just how nasty making a cigar can be. Okay. The Blumigan has used half a pot of red ink editing your poetry. It's so absorbed in the criticism, it's unaware of you and the tobacconist. Don't disturb it, the tobacconist whispers. Just take a knife and... The Blumigan does not notice you looming over it as it corrects your meter. It does not notice you raising the knife as it considers helpful edits to your rhyme, and when you drive the blade straight through its cap, it just shudders and dies. A viscous purple mixes with the red ink. The tobacconist chuckles and blows a whispered stream of maple-tasting smoke. Now, Captain, shall I show you how to carve up the little bugger? The taste of a beloved's perfume. Okay, so then we are able to buy a crate of cigars. Let's see. What happens if I do that? It's supplies. So I can buy 1 supplies for 20 echoes, and I can deliver 1 supplies for 20 echoes. Okay. Sure. Why not? I mean, that seems kind of silly, but I also don't really mind. So the creation of a cigar, the crotchety tobacconist has a dream. Yes, we got those 3 flavors. Is it time? The flavors have been gathered. Now what must be done? The shop will temporarily close once you proceed. The crotchety tobacconist blows a small ring around your head and smiles. Quite right. I think it's time we finish this. I'll begin my preparations. There's no one on the shop floor today, but you can hear the tobacconist in the workshop above. Come up! What's the tobacconist shouting now? We're done gathering flavors. Captain, we'll make do with what we have. Let's finish it. The cigar is nearly complete. Okay. The dogged apprentice is straining against the cords holding him to the workbench. His wrists are raw and bleeding. The tobacconist looms over him, sharpening his scalpel. Excellent. Now that you're here, Captain, we can start. I'll just need a donation from the boy, and we'll have the last component. Could you keep him still? Okay. I'm gonna offer myself in his place. We've got no wounds. The apprentice doesn't seem to have chosen this for himself. Let the tobacconist use you instead. A noble sacrifice. The crotchety tobacconist pauses, puts down the cigar and scalpel. He examines your face beatifically. Abruptly, he unties the apprentice, who staggers to collapse on the floor. You lie down on the workbench, and the tobacconist grasps your hands. Thank you, Captain. Thank you. I cannot promise this will be quick or painless, but it serves a most exquisite end. Now I'll have to restrain you, for your own safety, of course. From this angle, it's hard to see what the tobacconist is doing. You have to go by sensation. He draws a line across your chest. The scalpel is sharp enough to tickle. He then pinches and pulls and slices sideways across the fat, as the burning agony becomes unbearable and your screams distracting the tobacconist. The tobacconist blows a heavy smoke into your face. The purple lights flare and then go dark. You're still on the bench when you wake. Your bonds have been removed and your chest is covered in a thick pinkening gauze. The tobacconist is off to one side of the room, concentrating on a large tub on the floor. You have been harvested. It's time. The cigar is complete, and you still live, though the wound is raw enough that the breathing causes intermittent flashes of agony. After your sacrifice, the tobacconist has to go ahead. He must test the cigar. The crotchety tobacconist lowers the cigar into the water with shaking hands. He fumbles in his pocket for a cylinder of never-cold brass. It slips into the water with a hiss. Fishing it out, the tobacconist holds it to the tip of the submerged cigar. The end starts to throb with a dull glow. My God, he cries, it works! He lowers his face into the water, draws in on the cigar. He sits up, holding the smoke in. His eyes are closed. His expression is one of rapture. It feels like a long time before he speaks. It burns with passion. At one moment it has the rawness of brimstone, but this is tempered with such sweetness, like a beloved's perfume, one that revels in the taste. This is united in a body of thickened earth. Oh, Captain, we've done it! Wow! Holy crap! Look at that! That is 25 sea stories, 25 tales of terrors, 25 visions of the surface, and just serene, out of hunger, more fragments, extraordinary implications. No secrets, but you can't have everything. And yes, everyone has a dream. One last request. A suitcase sits in front of the shop counter. 1 or 2 errant socks hang from the seams. It's time for the work to truly begin, the crotchety tobacconist says. Arrangements with the rose gates have arrived, all settled. Could I just trouble you to take me from here? He blows a ring before glancing at the apprentice sitting in the other corner of the counter. He corrects himself. Take us? Yes. The crotchety tobacconist strides into your Zubmarine, humming a jaunty tune. To the Iron Republic, he cries, before resuming his song. The dogged alchemist is slower to board, but he all but shuffles to you. The Grand Geode, he whispers, before entering a vessel, leaving Rosegate to the dark. And there is now a new custodian, so we can still do things. Oh, I could have turned in the Hunter's Eye before. Alright, that's nice. I'm not going to sell anything here, but that's good to know. And now we go southwest. That took a while, but that was pretty cool. And we're going to go to the Iron Republic, so that all works out. And we can also go to the Grand Geode. I'm not sure if these are mutually exclusive. We'll find out. Isle of Cats first. And yeah, that was pretty neat. So we won't have anything awaits us. We're mostly here for the port report. Singing praises to Leopold. So yeah, we would need a thing to do here. And yeah, that's actually exactly what the problem is. We can buy supplies, but that's fine. So I guess we just get that port report. Done. Seeing everyone that's coming and going. Port Carnelian. So, an additional sherry with the fierce philanthropist. No business, but a sherry is a sherry. Sounds great. Warn the adventurers of Rak. There's a hullabaloo in Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop. Young adventurers celebrate an upcoming expedition. They're planning to sail over Rack. And we persuade them against it for 30 echoes. Rack's already as bad as it can get, so why not? Now, what port report do we want? Well, actually, let's first check our spy network. No, I'm not doing that one. Let's go with... Nope. We're going to go and talk to a tiger in the Blue Bazaar. The Carnelian Coast's padding natives are eloquent, placid, and acerbic most of the time. The Blue Bazaar is Port Carnelian's great indoor market, arched, lofty, plush with patterned carpets where the vendors display their wares, most of all awash with gossip. The tiger is well informed. A black-hulled carnate trireme prowled the coast last night. A rifle shot from the shore. Shipments from the sapphire mines have slowed. The governor's aide was left-handed on Tuesday and right-handed on Wednesday. You know, one of the things that you can actually do in Fallen London now is become the governor. And that was also pretty cool when I did that. I got a 45% chance of getting intelligence. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Something Awaits Me to try and get a new opportunity for improving my network, which is echoes. You want me to just spend 150 echoes for a 50% chance, or 7 Tales of Terror. 7 Tales of Terror is easy. Asset, once forthcoming, has grown reticent. You tell the asset, who perspires appropriately, of the bloody rites conducted in Storm's temple at the Shelinet. They are always looking for celebrants, or willing or otherwise. The requirements are meager. Bones to break, a voice to scream. Your asset is eager to change the subject. Here come the secrets they owe you, gushing like a spray from a cracked pipe. Okay, so that's pretty neat. And we can't quite... I want to improve the network enough that I can easily get intelligence. So, let's find out what we need to improve the network. 1 romantic literature. Oh, cool. We can totally do that at some point. Then, we want to buy things. We want to buy supplies, we want to buy fuel, and we want to buy coffee. So, I'm going to get up to 10 supplies again. Actually, let's call it 15 at this point. I do not want to miss it. Why did I bother buying fuel? I did not need fuel. Okay, so then we're just going to buy all of the coffee. All of the coffee. I didn't actually mean to buy quite that much coffee. But the coffee is going to earn me more than you guys will. So you guys can... I'm not tossing you overboard. I'm justifying it as you are merely going to a different place. You're just gonna settle down in this area. Just ignore the splash noise. Totally unrelated to the claimant that we evicted. And now to the Grand Geode. I mean, it won't auto-trigger regardless, so if it is, I will be delivering the underwater cigar to the Grand Geode. Then I will deal, and mostly by ignoring that and moving on to somewhere else. But I think I'm just delivering the Dogged Apprentice, and I hope he likes it there. Excellent, I've explored that section. Alright, Zelo's Town. How is it hanging? That's still a really cool image. I mean, the geode... Yep. Alright. So one thing I would really like to do here is I would really like to buy an element of the Dawn, which I actually need to do stuff with. Okay, so ask to speak with someone in authority. What place is this? Okay, lost 1 crew, lost 1 menace. Ooh. And there's a light as a secret electricity. A blank space in your memory. You saw the Commodore and then there was something bright. You discussed matters of importance. You're certain of it. Teasing clues linger in your memory. Azela asked to stay behind and you permitted it because it'll all come clear later, probably. 25 terror, 1 extraordinary implication, and we are no longer wounded. That's kind of interesting. We have the memoir, A Sunstroke. Okay, so that also allows us to buy an element of dawn. This did not exist previously. It used to be that you had to sell the memento mori and raise their supremacy, which I do not want to do. So this is something we will definitely do. We'll probably do it a couple of times. I just need more vital intelligence. And yeah, because I need it for a couple of things, and I want it. Do we do a port report? No, that risks pages, as I recall. But we will part with the dogged apprentice. He stands on the deck, staring at the glittering geode beyond the Royal Marines. His lips twitch. He has something to say. The apprentice's voice catches in his throat when he tries to speak. Finally, he takes a deep breath and manages to whisper. He'll make thousands more, just like the first one. He turns to you. Beads of sweat have gathered at his temples. I wanted to defy the laws of nature, but not like that. Now the Z will burn. The dogged apprentice dabs his forehead with a handkerchief and then brushes past you to join the bright-eyed people of the Grand Geode. Yeah, he's probably not wrong. But, we helped him do it, and, like, come on. It's important to see these things through. Hi there, Lightship. I don't want to deal with you at all. Please stay on that edge of the screen. Thank you very much. I'm just going to be over here, around Castle Clare. I love how the music immediately becomes muted when you dive. It's real neat. Hey, don't know why I keep doing E. Dive into the abyss. The abyss of pomegranates. That's not the one I'm after. So we will depart. I really hope it's not the one I'm after. Now I'm trying to remember. Oh, there's something off in the distance. It can stay in the distance. Again, 89 hull strength. Not enough. Okay, so we are now down below the fuel we need, which is one of the reasons for coming here. Okie dokie. So, we will go to here. The Iron Republic. So, parting with the crutchy tobacconist. He breathes in deeply and nods his approval. If I could wrap this place in a cigar, I'd be rich. So, firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to buy... Oh, we can always buy fuel, actually. That's fine. So, yes. I just wanted to make sure that the shop we need is available. Okay, so let's do that. Crushes his tobacconist, shakes your hand vigorously. I owe you my gratitude. This will be a fine place for us to produce many more of those underwater beauties. By this time next year, you should have the entire Z burning. He extracts a cigar from his seemingly bottomless case. He pauses before lighting it. Thank you again, my friend. And you drop him off to begin mass production of his underwater cigars. Supremacy anarchists increased by 1. Oh yeah. The liberation of the night. Oh right, you can use something awaits you here if you've got terror at 70. I don't want to do that, but you can do that. You can use it that way. Market of flies is this. Yeah, that's all fine. I want the Judgment's eggs, but I'm gonna need to start killing colossal flukes, and can't quite do that yet. Okay, so let's just buy all of the fuel that we can fit. Upward to the surface, where this talk of underwater cigars and setting fire to the Z can just go away. Although I can do more anarchy. Not going to, but I could. Okay, yep, straight for the Crimean Canal. Gianotti Harbour. Up to the surface. The Crimean Canal staging area. So first, we're going to get a port report, so we don't forget. We're going to listen for surface gossip, because we can. And now, up to the surface. The sun is dangerous to Neath dwellers like your crew, but the surface has its temptations. The engineers of the canal took advantage of the existing cave-in passages. Yes, actually I've read that before. It's all fine. I don't mind. Okay, so to Naples. The very last stretch of the canal runs overland to the bay by Bacoli. Then it's an easy run down to the Tyrrhenian coast into Naples. Okay, surface is restful, but your crew may die here. Yep. Now we are going to go to the we're going to buy a train ticket to Vienna. Parabola linen crumples in daylight. The mushroom wines of the Nice are not kindly received in wine shops of Italy and France. Prisoner's honey loses all its virtue, but in the coffee houses of Vienna, dark drop coffee is the new sensation. Not so very far by train, you could travel by night, and indeed we did. Here we are in Venice. So, deliver coffee to the Cafe Festrel. Gas lamps glow, waiters swoop, chess players hunch over their tables. The melancholic proprietor looks up from his mustache wax. Aha! He says gloomily. My only remaining friend, I'm glad you're not dead yet. The black blood of Festel. Each day, the proprietor waves at the bustling blaze of the cafe. We draw a little closer to bankruptcy. Your coffee helps delay our demise, if only by a week or two. I am grateful, I suppose. Here, this is all I can afford to pay you. You've received 4,960 echoes. That literally doubled the money that I spent on them in the first place. So, I'm pretty happy with that. We could turn in the fidgeting agitator, but no. But we're also not going to help them either. Okay, the hum of rails. We go back to Naples. Now, we wanted a lot of supplies because we want to get ourselves some vital intelligence and some cheap supplies. So why not do that now? So we're going to spend our recent news. We're going back to London, so we might as well get us more supplies. And these are the cheapest supplies you can buy. Downside is you can't just hit shift 10, so we will see how many I do end up getting. It's also inconveniently not in the first page, and it always reverts you back to the start. Really wish there was at least a do it again. Or maybe if it's number 4, nope. This is not actually very fun to do. I think it's not worth the effort. Even though I need to have like 50 supplies, and this is easily the cheapest way of doing it. Really, I'm gonna get up to 30, and then I'm just gonna say F that, because that is not fun. That is incredibly boring, and I'm not doing it. So, you know, I'm sorry if you wanted to, for some bizarre reason, see me buy like 70 or 80 supplies that way, but I'm not doing that. That would be bad. That would be less than fun. So instead, we're going to go back to Avernus, and we are going to fill our mirror catch boxes. Light is always with us. Yep, we've got 13 of these boxes. When you close your eyes, you see the light. Okay. When you close your eyes, you see shapes in the light. Towers? Okay, so we are actually reaching a risky point. But we've got an officer that could help us with that. And we've got 3 wounds, and we kind of can head straight back to London. Each of these is worth 400 echoes. Is it? Okay, I'm going to leave now. Return below. And let's see. I know that the Clauderiere can theoretically help with this, but I think she might... Yeah, I think we might actually need to have her at a different stage. So you know what? We will just do this, and hopefully I haven't goozled myself. Because I definitely could have. That could have been a mistake. Because if your yearning and burning is high enough, you know what happens? You will start opening the boxes yourself. And that hurts. And doing that 3 times will kill you. And what's more, opening the boxes increases your yearning and burning, which increases the chances of you opening boxes. And you can see where this is a negative feedback loop. Plus, every box I open myself, I wound myself and lose 400 echoes, so that would be bad. I don't want to do that. Okay. I think we may have gotten away with it though. So we'll just stop at Quaker's Haven for the port report. Quaker's Haven under new management. Yep, port report. I like how you automatically get the port report. Hey, buddy boy. Let's just kill you and take your stuff. Take your fragments. We're actually very close to another secret. So that'd be nice. How are you? Yeah, no, we will dissect it for knowledge. 25 fragments. Yeah, we're like one incidental discovery away from another secret. I'm happy with that. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess. It's a positive feedback loop because it feeds on itself, whereas the negative feedback loop would slow down and stop. Yes, it has a negative outcome, which is what I meant when I said that. But you are 100% correct. So. We're going to go to Low Barnet. Because we found out about Lytton, and so we might as well get lit on. Or something. I don't know. I had a point. I wasn't just trying to make a terrible pun. I was trying to make a terrible pun. But, you know. And here we go, Low Barnet. Find the fierce philanthropist's husband. Also explore the church. Your source said he could be found here. And who is that in the shadow of the apse? A verdure and coral. Lytton stands in a secluded corner. He is inhumanly tall. His lower body is encased in a block of coral that raises him up. Beneath his shirt, his body is lumpen. A tracery of it, lurid and pink, has begun to sprout on his cheek, following the course of his veins. He ignores you, intent on buffing a smooth shine from the brass. Perhaps a reminder of his past will help. Show him his wife's locket. You hold the locket open before him. Evelyn, he says involuntarily, and looks at you. She sent you? I always expected the other parties would find me first. He looks down at the gradual encroachment of coral. I cannot return, for her safety as well as the obvious. But I ask that you withhold the full nature of my condition from her. I wouldn't want to cause her any further distress. Okay, so ask him about the 7. We were the 7 against Nida. Soldiers, spies, healers, zailers, we meant to democratize death, to break Nida's hold on immortality and distribute their hoard of years more evenly. It was a good scheme. Verdane recruited our legions, Lorenzo charted our path, Arik sailed our troops up the Red River on living ships. Batuk led our armies, Rosino healed our wounds. After our defeat, we were separated. I don't know where the others hide, except one, Mariam, who gathered us. She was a princess of the Presbyteriate. Look for her deep in Scrimshander, in the Stygian repository, where the white bones turn black. He takes a last look at the locket from his wife, and then clicks it closed. Give her this, so she knows I sent you. Okay, so next step is Scrimshander. What was your role in the 7? I was their financier. I came from modest means, however my congregation consisted of industrialists, the gentry, bankers, people who had an interest in immortality and the willingness to invest. My doctrine was unconventional. Eternal life in this life, not the next. What became of their endeavor? We failed. We came close. We reached Nida. We breached the Persimmon Gate, but the reinforcements came and the Waxwind was invoked. We scattered each of the 7 and found a place to hide in the deeps. At a cost. This is mine. He indicates his skirts of coral. Alright, let's leave him for now. That's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, we can actually trade our storyteller rewards. Quality for different rewards. So we can get relics and antiques, a map and knowledge, a gift for life and death. Not now. Maybe later. It took a while to get that, and I kind of want to get into the back area rather than do all that. Okay, so here we are back in old London town. I'm going to sell off the mirror catch boxes, all but one of them. But yeah, we've got a bunch of money and we're about to get up to 30k. Nothing to sneeze at all. No siree. Collect the Harbour Master's messages. All the clutter and song of the dockside. It soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? Alarming Scholar wants to talk to us. Sure, we will help you get your package. Polythreme. Sure. Enough of sunlight. I was just saying to myself, how could the evening be further improved? And I replied to myself, perhaps only if my very most favourite captain would return right now with some of that golden stuff in the captain's hold. It'd strike me dead if you didn't appear. We'll take the golden stuff off your hands for a price, I must say, that surpasses the generous and enters the realm of charitable donation. 3,600. I was wrong. We do indeed have over 30k. Even after you take away the 1,000 that he gave, that's kind of a temporary loan. So, awesome. So now, things I need to do before I forget. I need to go and put my ship in dry dock. I need that ship to be repaired, and I will use the Admiralty yards because I am still cheap. Even though I'm about to buy a new ship, why did I do that? Because it's been bugging me. Okay, fine. Forgotten Quarter, I'm not going to buy that. That's silly. What do we want then? We want... we want to go to the shipyard. You know what we can do now? We can get a boat that is just as big and heavy, but significantly boosts our irons, boosts our mirrors a little too, and significantly drops our veils. That is fine. Let's do this. This is, of course... So it's the... Sylph, that's a silly name. Obviously, the Rannatolog is a much better name. Rannatolog. Yes, there we go. Yes. We now have ourselves a nice big ship. Look at that hull. 600 hull. Look at that ship. It has a forward slot. You know what that means? We can now go to the shops here and we can say, hey, you know what I would like? I would like a nice big forward gun. This one does 28. So that sounds great. Is there anything else that we can grab? Iron and Misery doesn't have a special gun. No. Caminus Yards. We will be replacing this with a better weapon. Don't you worry. But this means we've got 2 guns. And those torpedo components that we've been carting around like some kind of idiots, we can use them. I wonder what the Harlot Fry is useful for. Anyway, Venturous Desire, he wants Zoop, he wants something silky, whatever. I don't really care at this point. Shops, we will I'll deal with organizing, going out and killing stuff in the next episode. Well, we need to kind of head east. So we will do that. We will also grab ourselves an agent. No, we've already got an agent. Excellent. So yeah, next time we will enjoy our new stuff. Until then, have a great day. Bye. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you spending the time and effort watching the videos I make. If you'd like to watch more, on the left there should be another video from this playlist. On the right there will be whatever YouTube recommends, and in the center there is a convenient subscribe button just in case you need it.